Hello and welcome back to the channel. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you in the US. I hope you had a great holiday. Today I'm going to share with you my Criterion Collection sale haul. And full disclosure here, I did order everything from Amazon because, as I've mentioned in some previous videos, I did have some issues with my Barnes & Noble shipments from last time, and they waited for over a month at the post office, so I thought to be safe I should just order from Amazon. So Blu-ray.com did a great job of comparing the prices of what was happening at Barnes & Noble with Amazon. Amazon also provided some coupons so you could get some additional money off some of the titles. So in this video I'm going to share with you why I picked some of these titles. Again, sometimes films come to me through friends, recommendations, or something that I see on the Criterion channel. Again, I have the Criterion channel, so it allows me to preview some of the titles. I love the content on the Criterion channel, by the way, too, so if you don't have that, I would highly recommend it. First thing I'm going to show you is a recommendation from Stephanie at Movie Chatter. This is the complete Jokta box set. Again, this sale, or any sale with Barnes & Noble or Criterion, it's a great time to pick up a box set. Now this one overall has a spine number of 729. Some of these titles look like they have been released previously because the titles are, the spine numbers are 730, 110, 111, 112, 439, and 731. But I really know nothing about Jokta, and she and I were having a conversation and she recommended it highly. This is some lighter entertainment, which I was really in the mood for, so I'm happy I picked this up. I'm happy to start exploring this box set since I really don't know any of these films. So thank you to Stephanie from Movie Chatter. I'm going to link her channel in the description below also. This next one is spine number 579, The Phantom Carriage, and the director of the film is in Wild Strawberries. As you know from the channel, I'm a big Ingmar Bergman fan, and this is one of Ingmar Bergman's favorite films, supposedly, so I thought I really need to see this movie. I haven't seen the movie before, but the reason I picked it up is because of Ingmar Bergman and also that the director is in Wild Strawberries. This next one is spine number 654, Repo Man, and I picked this movie up because I'm a big fan of Harry Dean Stanton. I've seen Repo Man many years ago, probably in the 80s when it came out, but I didn't have a copy of it, and since I'm a big Harry Dean Stanton fan, I thought I should pick this one up. So I'm really excited to have this one in the collection, and I'm excited to re-watch it after all these years. This next one is spine number 887, Lost in America, an Albert Brooks film that I've seen many times. Again, the reason I picked this one up is because I'm a huge Albert Brooks fan. I started to watch, there was a feature on the Criterion channel on Albert Brooks films, many of his films, some of which are in the Criterion Collection and some of which are not. And I saw part of this film again that I'd seen many times, and so I'm really excited to have this movie. It's one of my favorite Albert Brooks films. There's some great interviews on this release as well, so I'm happy to add this one to the collection too. One of the most recent releases from the Criterion Collection, spine number 1055, Girlfriends. This film is from 1978, and I remember having this film on a VHS tape for many years and carrying it around me through many moves. Also, sometimes when you're moving, you know, you may donate movies or get rid of videotapes and things like this, and I had this on a videotape for so many years. I taped it off TV again years ago, and I remember really enjoying the film, and it just I hadn't really seen a release of it until this, so I'm really excited that the Criterion Collection decided to release this film, and I'm super excited to re-watch it after a long time. So that's the reason I picked up Girlfriends. Another one of the later releases from the Criterion Collection, spine number 1057, Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai. This is a Jim Jarmusch film, one of my favorite Jim Jarmusch movies. I'm a big fan of Jim Jarmusch, and so I wanted to pick up this film. I have it on DVD. There hadn't been a Blu-ray release, and I was so excited to hear when this was getting released. And I think Jim Jarmusch does one of his famous Q&A discussions on the release as well. Pretty sure that's on here. Yeah, there's a new Q&A with him. So, so I'm, again, really excited to add this to the collection. I probably will keep the DVD because it has some extra features on it that maybe this does not have. Spine number 303, this is a DVD, a Nicholas Roeg film called Bad Timing. And I wanted to just tell a quick story about how I got into Nicholas Roeg films. I am a big fan of the Criterion Collection channel on YouTube, and one of the features that they do is the Criterion Closet, where they have an actor or a director go into the Criterion Closet and pick a movie. And in this case, the person that went into the closet was Ben Sinclair, who stars in the HBO series High Maintenance, which is one of my favorite shows. And in fact, my wife and I have started to rewatch the show from the beginning. It started, I think, as some shorter webisodes and then became a series on HBO, and I believe they have 4 seasons. So this movie, Ben Sinclair was in the Criterion Closet, and he told a great story about this movie. Now, I should say, too, that I tried to watch a Nicholas Roeg film called Walkabout. I tried it a couple times, and I just really couldn't get into it. And so when he mentioned this film, I thought this might be a good opportunity for me to explore Nicholas Roeg films again. And I just love this film. It's a great film. It's a film about obsession. Art Garfunkel is really great in it. Teresa Russell, in her early 20s, one of her earlier films, of course, she had a relationship with Nicholas Roeg. She's got a great interview on this talking about her experience. I think she was offered to work in the movie Superman and decided to do this film instead, and I'm so glad she did. But the movie is about obsession and about relationships, and it really has a non-linear narrative, meaning that it goes back and forth in time. And so the viewer is really, has to kind of put the puzzle together, which is, again, a very interesting way to watch a movie. So I highly recommend this film, Bad Timing. It's one of my favorite films, and I think I'm going to be watching it over and over again. It is currently also on the Criterion channel, along with a number of Nicholas Roeg films. So highly recommend this movie. That's why I picked it up, because Ben Sinclair recommended it from the Criterion Closet. And along with that, spine number 745, Don't Look Now. This is another Nicholas Roeg film that's also on the Criterion channel. And I thought, this is really getting me into Nicholas Roeg films. So if you have a favorite Roeg film, please leave me a comment below. I'm sure I'm gonna be exploring Walkabout again. There's quite a few features on the Criterion channel, including many of his films. And so I'm really excited to really get into his work. And I started watching this movie this morning on the Criterion channel, and I really love it. This is also another relationship film about a couple going through grief, among many other things. But it's a very visual movie. You know, this was also part of the 70s horror collection on the Criterion channel. When I first started watching it, I can see how people would think it's a horror film. It does have some supernatural elements in it, and ESP is talked about in Second Sight, and you know, these types of things. But I really see it as a relationship movie, at least from what I've seen so far. There's a great scene also. I think one of the best scenes I've seen in a while in a movie, and it's a scene between Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie, and they're making love, and Nicholas Roeg splices it together with them getting dressed. It's one of the best sequences in cinema that I think I've seen in a long time. So I'm really excited to get into these films and really get into Nicholas Roeg's work. So if you have recommendations, please leave them below. Spine number 751 and 752, these are 2 films from Errol Morris. Of course, Errol Morris did The Thin Blue Line, among other films, and he's a documentary filmmaker for the most part, I believe. The reason I picked up this movie is because I'm a fan of The Thin Blue Line, and so I thought I need to add a couple of more Errol Morris films to my collection, and these are 2 very interesting ones, Gates of Heaven and Vernon, Florida. So that's the reason I picked up this one. Spine number 123, and I guess you always have to have spine number 123. What a great spine number that is. Grey Gardens. This is a favorite film of so many people, and I remember hearing that there's another YouTuber by the name of Bailee Walsh, and this is one of her favorite films, and she recommended it highly. So I'm really excited to add this one to the collection. I'm a big fan of documentaries. It comes highly recommended. I've seen some of the extra features and have even started watching a little bit of it on the Criterion channel. Again, as I mentioned perhaps in another video, I like to watch the Criterion channel to preview titles that I want to purchase on physical media. I would love to have every Criterion Collection movie, but that's probably not going to happen. So I need to preview titles and really be conservative with the way I order physical media. So Grey Gardens, I'm super excited to watch this film and really get into it. Spine number 169, Jimmy Plays Monterey. I have the Monterey Pop box set, and this one was, I think the price on this was $14.99 on Amazon, which is a great price for this release. And I thought, since I have the Monterey Pop set, I wanted to pick this up along with it. I'm a big music fan, and that's the reason I decided to pick up this release. And finally, spine number 164, Andrei Tarkovsky's Solaris. You know from the channel that I'm a big Tarkovsky fan, and I didn't have a lot of his films on physical media. Most of the films I watched on the Criterion channel. This is an amazing film if you haven't seen it before, one of my favorite Tarkovsky movies. So that's the reason I picked this up. I've been picking up a few during the the sales throughout the year, and I didn't have a copy of this, so I thought I would pick it up. I should say too, I have a copy of The Irishman coming in from Martin Scorsese. It hasn't arrived yet, but I'm excited about that release also. I really enjoyed The Irishman, so I'm so happy that the Criterion Collection decided to release it, and so I have a copy of that coming. Also, I'm still thinking about the Fellini set, and I might still purchase that. There's a couple days more in the sale. As you know, the sale ends on Monday the 30th, so we've got a couple days here. I'm recording this video on a Saturday, so you've still got a couple days to order some titles. Let me know in the comments below what you decided to pick up, or if you participated in the sale. I'd be interested in knowing what you decided to pick up. Again, as I mentioned, I pretty much only purchase Criterion films during a flash sale or during a Barnes & Noble sale, so that's usually when I add the most to my collection. Thanks so much for watching this video today. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, click on like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks again so much too for all the comments and questions. Those are great, and I really enjoy reading those. I sincerely hope that everyone is safe and well, and I'll talk to you soon.